thoughts about your own start to this season, what you've been able to do?
Obviously, we won better numbers or whatever, but, I've been playing some good baseball, playing defense, offense, hitting the ball hard in every part of the field. But looks like the baseball gods are really mad at me right now. It's all right, I'll take it. We got 5 more months of baseball, and, I'm ready for it. I'm really prepared, and I have all the confidence in the world that it's going to turn around.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Marty Time TV and the Section 1904 podcast. I am Marty Caswell, and that is AJ Cassavell somewhere in Milwaukee. I'm not sure if he's staying at the Haunted Hotel. We are brought to you by the all-new Humboldt Casino Resort, the Players Place. You're not there, AJ. Where do you? It's a Marriott somewhere. You don't need to disclose your location, but you do not.
Yeah, it's the Spring Hill Suites. I don't stay at the Haunted Hotel. Also, there's no such thing as a haunted hotel, but I don't stay there anyway. So,
are you sure about that?
Yeah.
The players seem to believe it. I know Darren and I were having this conversation earlier with Mason Miller. There are plenty of players who have refused to stay at that hotel. Yeah. They go elsewhere when the team books it.
It's some fun. It's some fun little folklore or whatever. But like, let's all grow up a little bit. It's not haunted.
All right. Listen, you wrote about it yesterday for Padres.com about Matt Waldron. Did Matt Waldron, in your opinion, just make his final start for the Padres? Or do you think they could find a role for him, whether it's a bullpen, whether you go with a 6-man rotation? I'm not sure that would make sense. I'm not sure if the Padres really know at this point.
Yeah, I hesitate to say like with definitive certainty it's his last start with the Padres because I don't know what could happen in terms of if he were to be DFA'd, then is there a spot for him? Does another team claim him? Is he off the 40-man? And then does this rotation need a lift? Like Matt Waldron has shown in the past that he could be a useful pitcher for multiple months at the time. He did it in 2024. But Here's what I'm willing to say somewhat definitively is that was Matt Waldron's last start in this rotation as it stands. Like Giolito will be up at some point soon per the stipulations of his contract. I believe it's you know what? I forget the exact date. Probably shouldn't have even started down that sentence, but it's sometime this weekend or early next week. So he'll be joining the roster by the 25th day afterward, which would just line up for his next turn through, I think, over the weekend in Seattle. And then they have a pretty set 5 all of a sudden. I think Walker Buehler has established himself. I think Griffin Canning has shown some pretty good things, even if that inning spiraled on him with Tatis on Friday. Yep. And then Vasquez and King. And so there's clearly not a place for Waldron. The bullpen has been very good, so I don't see much of a place for him there. So if you're just kind of doing the roster math, I think we kind of see where this is headed. That doesn't mean he's necessarily done with the Padres. It also doesn't mean they make the move today. Maybe someone in this bullpen that we don't know about, elbow isn't quite feeling great. They wait a day or two, and then there's a spot for Waldron. Who knows? I don't know, but I just know that the rotation has a lot more clarity now that Giolito's here, and Waldron is almost certainly the piece that gives away.
Okay, so you're leading me now to my next question because you have maintained for a while that the starting pitching was going to be the Padres' biggest priority. Now that's adding pieces, and that's before they signed Giolito and before we saw the first couple starts from Griffin Canning. We have plenty of time until the trade deadline. As things look right now for the Padres, what is their biggest priority moving forward? I mean, you can't wait. There's going to be a lot of teams looking for offense, a lot of teams in the mix looking for pitching. If you're the Padres right now, what are you kicking the tires on? What are you chasing?
Still pitching because it's the offense has not been good enough. And I was toying around with some numbers, and maybe someone who's better than me at math can figure it out for real. But I was looking up where the Padres would rank if they just got the career averages from Tatis, Merrill, Machado, like not like outstanding, unbelievable seasons, just what those guys have done across their career, just the average, including their down year this year. And like they're a bottom 10 offense right now. And if they had gotten basic normal production from those guys, I think it would basically make them a like 10, 11, 12 offense in baseball, which is more than good enough when you're getting what you're getting from your pitching staff and your bullpen and also the heights that those guys can hit. So the question isn't like, who do you add to this offense? Like, yes, I think there's question marks at maybe second base, maybe catcher, but like that those aren't an issue if those other guys are hitting, and those other guys are entrenched here for a long time. So still starting pitching. We still don't have a ton of clarity on Pivetta and Musgrove. Buehler I have really liked what I've seen from him lately.
Agree.
Doesn't mean he's going to do it for 6 months. Giolito, Canning, like we'll see. These are not sure things. I still say the thing they go after at the deadline is a starting pitcher.
Wow. Okay. Do we have an update yet on Luis Campusano? I know we're talking about if you get normal production from Manny, those are still the guys. It's not going to be about the conversation about what Gavin Sheets does, or even Ramon Laureano or anybody else. To me, it's about your big superstars. But Campusano was becoming a very important piece, I thought, of getting some consistency. Where is he with his toe injury?
Yeah, he's still in San Diego, so I don't know the specifics of like what's going on with his recovery, but he's just rehabbing it. They didn't seem to think it would linger too long. I know he had some, like there have been other times in his career, and this is the frustrating thing with this injury, is that there have been other times in Luis Campusano's career where it looked like he was putting it together just like he was this season, and then injuries kind of prevented him from taking off.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're kind of hopeful that this one doesn't linger, and it doesn't seem like doesn't sound like they think it will, but who knows, like when he gets back into it, if he's got the same rhythm that he had early in the season. I think it's hard for any catcher to sustain it over a long season. So I think like at the end of all this, like Campusano misses 3 weeks and comes back feeling fresh and healthy, like in the long run, it's not the worst thing, but you don't like to see it with what he was doing at the plate. And then with the production that you're getting from Freddie Fermin, it's quality defensively, but not enough on offense. Okay,
that's interesting. I was actually wondering if the Padres should think about being in the market for a catcher, which, by the way, a year ago, I would say, AJ, that 90% of our conversation on this channel, on Marty Time TV, was about the catcher's production. And now, just given the injury, and Fermin's been a lot, he's taken quite a few hits. I'm just wondering now if that conversation should be ongoing as well.
It's probably always
beating behind the plate.
Yeah, totally. And it's probably always ongoing, but I just say this all the time with catchers. They're going to be more expensive than you think. They're harder to find than you think. Mm-hmm. And they're just like, it's just, there's not that many good offensive catchers. So when you have a guy who works really well with your pitching staff, you and like Freddie Fermin should hit better than what he is right now. Not to say he should hit too much better than this. Like if his OPS is 650 and you're getting what you're getting from him defensively, I think you're pretty happy with that. And then you say, let's figure it out with the superstars. Like that's plenty of offense from a guy who's pretty good defensively and really good at handling the pitching staff. And the Padres have gotten so much production from their pitching staff this season that I think you're hesitant to shake it up. So yeah, sure, kick the tires on some catchers if you want, but I don't think that should be the priority.
Okay, I know that you're not going to write. I love how you and the UT and Dennis, like in case you guys didn't know, Fernando Tatis still doesn't have a home run. I'm not going to ask you about that because I really do not know how to further that conversation. It's not a lack of effort. I mean, we've seen the private BPs.
I'll further it. It's going to happen in Seattle. I'm off this weekend. I'm not in Seattle, so it's going to happen there.
Oh, you're calling your shot. It's going to happen in Seattle.
Third inning Friday night. I haven't even looked at who's pitching, but it'll be one of the days that I'm off, I'm sure.
Calling your shot. You've given up. You've stopped calling your shot in the press box. And for those of you guys
I've gone away from Tatis in the yard game. For those who don't know, you get one pitch every game, and I've been pretty standard for years at like Tatis when he's in a good Tatis or Machado when they're in a good count, like 3-1 or 2-0. That's when I use it. It's about process here, but I think until Tatis can prove otherwise, he's out as my yard guy. I don't think I called one yesterday, but anyway, strategically, it just doesn't make sense right now. So he'll prove me otherwise eventually, and then I'll go back to calling him. I still miss Franmil Reyes. He was my guy. He was my yard guy. For some reason, I had a connection. I knew when he was going to homer. I had 5 during the 2019 season.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
That's
4
impressive.
Of them Franmil. That's the all-time record, all-time press box record.
That's amazing. I hope you keep your trophy somewhere at your place in OB. All right. One other guy you read about is Nick Castellanos. He's getting a bit more playing time. 6 for 18, 872 OPS over his last 6 games. Are we starting to see, are the Padres starting to see the type of role, utility, bench player, the value that Nick Castellanos can bring?
Yeah, and I think there were legitimate questions about his place on this roster at the end of April, and I was hesitant to just concede his spot on the roster, even though his OPS was below 500, because he wasn't getting enough at-bats, and every time he seemed to get in a rhythm, he took some quality at-bats. Yeah. There's a spot for him, and I don't know, like you look at the way Ramon Laureano is struggling right now, like maybe he plays a little bit more left field coming up. but you don't just toss a bat like that to the curb, and he's kind of proven why. Like, he can go on a little bit of a heater like this. He takes tough at bats in big spots. The Padres have a little bit of a riddle, I guess, with like Ty France, Nick Castellanos, and Miguel Andujar being like three of their hottest hitters right now, because like you can have all three of those guys in your lineup, but it means you've got to sit someone else, or you've got to sit one of them. And like, it's interesting. Like, what that also means with Castellanos and Andujar specifically is that if you're playing both of them, you're sacrificing defense. But Craig Stammen has proven he's willing to sacrifice defense. He doesn't seem to like, he doesn't seem like, I'm sure he cares, but he doesn't seem on some level to like really give a crap if his defense is poor, or at least like below like what it could be lineup construction wise, because he's searching for offense. And I think that's the right strategy right now. This offense is cold. The bats need to wake up. You go with the lineup that gets you offense. Look at the lineup yesterday. I think you could make a case they had downgrades at first base, right field, and second base. But like, if it's the lineup that gets you runs, like, you have to have Castellanos and Andujar in it. And they were the guys that pretty much provided all the offense. I think I've liked what I've seen from Castellanos lately. But I guess we'll see.
He's my favorite quote. He's unintentionally or intentionally hilarious when he talks to people. Two quickies before you have to go, AJ Cassavell. Are the Padres? How surprised are you by Ty Francis? What Ty Francis brought to this team? I know Gold Glove first baseman. He has a lot of value, versatility, but he's been a pretty productive player for the Pods.
Yeah, not surprised by the defense, but the offense, like, he's playing himself into, like, should this guy be starting at first base all the time? But I like, he's another really savvy pickup on the fringe of this roster. It's funny, like, this is a pretty well-constructed roster. If the stars hit, the stars just need to hit, because they're getting so much production from Ty France, Miguel Andujar, Nick Castellanos, and then you kind of see where the other pieces fit. Campusano has done it, but you just need those other guys going offensively.
No timetable for Jake Cronenworth?
Still no timetable for him. I don't even know if he's doing baseball activity. I think he's doing some like light workouts. But baseball activity wise, no timetable.
All right, my last question, AJ Cassavell, and thank you so much for joining me. I know you're very, very busy on a Wednesday. How much time until we start having a conversation as to the merits, as whether the Padres should call up the New York Mets, just call up their top prospect? Is it time for the Padres to call? You won't even let me get the words out of my mouth. Okay, no,
it's not. Like, it's going too well. Like, and I don't know, maybe if he keeps mashing, maybe the end of the season. I just, like, Ethan Salas's development has been such a roller coaster, and now that it's going well, now that you've clearly got something, now that you've clearly kind of reestablished one of the better catching prospects in the sport. And we know how volatile catching is, especially for young guys. Like, you don't rush it. You don't mess with it. Their plan all along was to get him lots of reps in AA this season, because he hasn't gotten those reps. He hasn't played enough the last couple of years. They moved him fast before, and it didn't exactly work out. Now, you could say it did work out. It got him the exposure to that. What really, excuse me.
I'm sorry. Are you there?
Yeah.
Okay,
sorry, I got to go in 1 second. But what really didn't work out was the injury, and like, I just think that he's eventually like, you got to take this slow. You got to take what you're getting and be happy with it, and stick to the plan, because you're getting what you wanted from Ethan Salas.
Or Darren would say, he has only increased his trade value. All right, AJ Cassavell, I know you have to go. That's AJ Cassavell. I'm Marty Caswell. We're brought to you by the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the Players Place. Have a great day. Someone's going to hit a home run. I just don't know who it is. Peace out. Talk to you guys soon.
I'm just going to do it because you have way more years than me in this show.
That's right. Repeta. Coming off first week of the season, Fernando, how do you feel the energy of the team is building as the season is progressing?
Feel great.
Una palabra nada más? Nice, that's how I would do it.